Hey everyone, it's Argonath here from Return of the Fan, and I just want to talk a little bit about Squid Game. I haven't seen it, and I'm not really that interested in watching it, but it's been a smash hit on Netflix, and a lot of people are talking about it and so on. So that's really cool. But what I want to talk about is kind of how it kind of breaks the narrative that we get from Hollywood, um, which we get over and over again when movies are released. So you get movies released, and if it's kind of doesn't meet diversity and left wokeness agenda standards, then you get an outcry on Twitter and so on. Whereas for some reason, Squid Game doesn't seem to have that anymore. Doesn't seem to have that, right? So the narrative is that you must have diversity in your movies because people can't identify with characters if they don't see themselves in that particular character. So obviously, if you don't have any black people in a movie or TV series, then black people can't relate to it. If you don't have any white people in your movie or TV series, then obviously white people cannot relate to it. That's basically what the woke left agenda is, right? That's what the woke left people, all the nut jobs on Twitter, that's pretty much what they go for. So you must have heard of Squid Game by now. It's a massive hit on Netflix, and it's doing really, really well. I'm not going to go into the show or anything like that. You can look that up yourself if you want to. But I want to look at, well, who is actually in this particular series, and does it meet the diversity standards that Hollywood needs? I mean, why is there no outcry from the woke nut jobs on Twitter about Squid Game? I haven't heard anything about that. So let's have a look at Squid Game. So it says, in the first week since it debuted on Netflix in mid-September, survival drama Squid Game has become a real-world word-of-mouth sensation. The South Korean series, which sees 456 cash-strapped people risk their life by taking part in a series of kids' playground games, has become one of Netflix's biggest series ever and is on track to take the top spot from Bridgerton. So that's pretty huge, right? It's going to take the top spot on Netflix. It was tracking to do that. Among those 456 contestants is the show's main protagonist, Seong Ji-hoon, who makes both allies and enemies after arriving at the game, with other key characters including an elderly man named Oh Il-nam and a former pickpocket by the name of Kang Se-byuk. Hopefully I pronounced those correctly. The main cast characters have all been praised for their performances. If you want to know a little bit more about the characters they play and which other TV shows and films they've appeared in, then you can read everything you need to know. So it's made in South Korea, right? It wasn't made for woke Hollywood or whatever. It's made in South Korea. And then I assume Netflix might have paid them money to do it. And then it was put on Netflix, right? So let's have a look at some of the actors in this particular show. So Lee Jung-hae plays Seong Ji-hoon. So this is obviously a person of Asian descent, not a white person, not a black person, not an Indian person. So that's one Asian person there. Let's have talk about his character. Is a divorced gambling addict whose financial woes are getting in the way of gaining custody of his daughter. He lives with his mother in a modest abode and soon finds out she has diabetes and needs surgery. When he hears about the secret game and its a substantial cash prize, he decides to take part so he can settle his debts and pay for his mother's medical bills. So not caring about what race this person is or their gender, we can identify with this person because what they're going through, right? Got a daughter, he's trying to gain custody of the daughter. I can imagine that a lot of dads out there will be able to reflect with that. It's got nothing to do with the race of the person or the gender of the person. It's to do with their situation, right? It's got a mother who has diabetes and needs surgery. Who doesn't have a mother that we really want to take care of, and if they need surgery, we want to help them out and so on, right? Next person, Park Hae-soo plays Cho Sang-woo. Cho Sang-woo grew up poor alongside Seong Ji-hoon, a gifted student. Cho Sang-woo eventually graduates from Seoul National University and becomes the head of an investment team. Unfortunately, he gets caught stealing money from his clients and is wanted from the police, so he decides to enter the game with Seong Ji-hoon. So just like kind of like a normal person, did really well at university, got a really successful job, made some stupid decisions, and now it's all falling apart. I'm sure we can relate to things like that might happen in our lives as well. So we've got a female actor here Again, all Asian people so far, so that's another female actor, or the first female actor who's the main character. A North Korean defector. The resourceful person joins the game in a bid to secure the money she needs to get the rest of her family out of North Korea and help her little brother who is in an orphanage in Seoul. She's good with a knife and a skilled pickpocket, both of which come in handy in the arena. Again, we can probably identify with this person. We don't have to have lived all of their experiences, right? I mean, we're intelligent people. We can identify with people if they're not our race, they're not our gender, right? My God, the left is just... So here we go, the first non-Asian, well, non-North South Korean or whoever. So Abdul Ali is an immigrant worker hailing from Pakistan who loses several fingers during an accident in the factory where he works. He was never compensated, and he volunteers to take part in Squid Game to provide for his wife and child and the rest of his family in Pakistan. So we can all relate to that, right? We want to provide for our family. We want our family to do well. We want to get success so that we can help our families. Who cannot identify with that? And then we've got this person here who plays an old man in the character. He's diagnosed with a brain tumor, and that's why he's taking part in the game. So again, we can identify with people who are going through health problems and stuff, right? We don't have to be an old person. We don't have to be a South Korean person or whatever the ethnicity of this actor actually is. Another person. So at the moment, all Asian people from some sort of Asian ethnicity, except for the Pakistan person. So that photo's not so good, but there's another person there. I assume that one will be, from the name, it looks like another Asian ethnicity person. So we can see there's hardly any white people in this particular series, right? So going from the left narrative that you need to be able to see yourself in a movie before, or TV show, before you can identify with them, or you can, enjoy the movie or TV series, then why is it doing so well in America? Right, let's look at Rotten Tomatoes. I normally disregard Rotten Tomatoes because the woke critics generally I don't take their reviews with any sort of trust, so I don't really take whatever value the critics give as any indication of the actual movie. I normally look at the audience score. That's normally much more useful. Plus also there's a lot more ratings for the audience score than the critic score. So if we click on 84%, it'll take us into the reviews. It's a really good series, blah 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 blah. Round 6 starts well, amazing world building, good potential characters with one exception, blah 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 blah. Cringingly violent, visually incredible, socially and politically prescient, at times humorous and endlessly entertaining, and so on. Damn, that was good. Yes, there were some issues, but no politics, and blah blah blah. This is overrated. I found it really depressing and overly bleak. The ending was confusing and a bit unfocused. So at the moment we can see there is no comments about all of them being South Korean. Why is there no black people in there? Why is there no Indian? Well, there's one Indian person, I guess. But why is there no white people in the series? There's nothing about that. It completely breaks the narrative that you must have diversity and inclusion in your show, right? Are there any gays or lesbian people in the show? I mean, surely there would have to be to make it, so that people that are lesbian or bisexual or gay can identify with the show and enjoy it. It just breaks the narrative completely, and there are just so many shows like that, right? So just don't worry about inclusion and diversity, Hollywood. Just give us good characters, written well, great acting, and produce great content for us. That's all we are actually looking for. Anyway, let me know what you think. Were you able to identify with the characters in Squid Game, even though they might not be representative of your sexuality or your gender or your race? I'm sure that you probably did. I'd love to hear your comments. Let me know. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, you're welcome to give me a thumbs down. And if you like my content, please give me a subscription, as it will just help my videos to get noticed by the YouTube algorithm. Anyway, hopefully I will catch you in the next video.